Thrawn is not just a villain. He is an idea, a presence, a force that lingers in the shadows long before he ever makes a move. He does not need to be seen to be feared. He does not need to raise his voice to command respect. In a galaxy filled with warlords and Sith lords who crave power through brute force, Thrawn stands apart. He is calm, he is patient, and he is always in control. That is what makes him different. That is what makes him terrifying. Because while others seek victory through strength, Thrawn achieves it through sheer intelligence. His legend first took shape in the expanded universe, in the pages of Heir to the Empire, where he emerged as a tactical mastermind trying to rebuild the remnants of the Empire. He was unlike anything Star Wars had seen before, a villain who studied his enemies, predicted their moves, and dismantled them before they even realized what was happening. And though his original story was lost when Star Wars canon reset, Thrawn refused to disappear. He returned, reintroduced in Star Wars Rebels, his brilliance as sharp as ever. And once again, he was a threat unlike any other. We saw him command fleets with precision in Rebels, proving that brute force was never his style. He was not reckless like so many Imperial officers. He did not underestimate his opponents. He learned from them. And now, with Ahsoka, he has made his grand return. Years after his disappearance, his name still carried weight. His influence still loomed over the galaxy. That is what makes him unique. Most villains are forgotten when they are gone. But Thrawn, he is the kind of enemy who never truly fades. His presence lingers, because even when he is not there, his plans are already in motion. That is why he is the most dangerous villain Star Wars has ever seen. He is not driven by rage, he is not reckless, he does not make mistakes. While others charge into battle, blinded by their own arrogance, Thrawn waits, he observes, he adapts, and when he finally strikes, it is never by accident. It is because he has already won before the fight even begins. That is why his return is so terrifying. He is not here to seek revenge. He is not here to reclaim what was lost in a blind act of desperation. He is here because he has a purpose. And when Thrawn has a purpose, the galaxy has every reason to fear. His story is not one of brute strength, but of control. Not of reckless destruction, but of careful, deliberate planning. And that is what makes him different from every other Star Wars villain. That is why he is the best. Because Thrawn does not need the Force. He does not need raw power. He only needs time. He only needs a plan. And once he has those things, there is no stopping him. There is no defeating him. Because in the end, Thrawn is not just a strategist. He is not just a commander. He is something far greater. He is the ultimate mind in a galaxy that has never truly been prepared for him. When you look at Palpatine, Vader, or even Dooku, you see men consumed by power. They destroy because they crave control. They lash out because they need dominance. But Thrawn is nothing like them. He doesn't kill out of rage. He doesn't destroy for the sake of destruction. He is methodical, disciplined, and disturbingly calm. His mind is his weapon, and he wields it with precision. He does not act without purpose. Every decision he makes is calculated. That level of control is something no Sith has ever had. His power doesn't come from fear, but from respect. His subordinates follow him, not because they are afraid, but because they believe in him. That is rare in Star Wars. The Empire is built on fear, yet Thrawn commands through trust. Even those who oppose him cannot deny his brilliance. He is the enemy you don't want to have, but if you must have one, you'd rather it be him than some mindless tyrant. He does not need to enforce his rule with an iron fist. His intelligence alone is enough to secure his authority. The Sith tear things down to build something new in their own image. Thrawn preserves what he sees as valuable. He sees the chaos of the galaxy and wants to bring order, not through cruelty but through precision. There is no waste in his actions. Everything he does serves a larger purpose, and that is what makes him stand out. He is not fighting for personal glory. He is fighting for something he sees as logical. The Sith rule through fear, but Thrawn rules through reason. That is what separates him from them. He is not controlled by emotion. He does not seek power for power's sake. He moves with intention, with logic, and with a sense of purpose that is almost admirable. That is what makes him a different kind of villain. He does not seek war for the sake of war. He seeks victory because he believes it is necessary. And when Thrawn believes something is necessary, there is no force in the galaxy that can stop him from achieving it. Thrawn's greatest strength is his ability to think beyond the obvious. While others look at weapons and fleets, he looks at the minds behind them. He studies a people's art, their history, their way of life, because he knows that is where true victory is found. To defeat an enemy, you must understand how they think. To crush a rebellion, you must know why it started. That level of understanding makes him one of the most unpredictable opponents in the galaxy. No matter what the enemy believes, he is already 5 steps ahead. Most villains see war as a game of numbers. More troops, more ships, more firepower. But Thrawn, he wins with fewer resources because he understands the battlefield in a way no one else does. He fights with precision, with elegance, with an almost eerie sense of control. While others panic, he remains calm, always seeing the next move before it happens. It is this ability that makes him a true tactician. He does not see battle as destruction. He sees it as a puzzle that only he can solve. He is not just a commander, he is an artist of war. Every battle is a canvas, every move a brushstroke, every victory a masterpiece. He doesn't fight because he enjoys conflict. He fights because he understands it on a level that few can comprehend. The battlefield is not just a place of destruction to him. It is a game of strategy that he has already mastered. No matter how unpredictable war may seem, Thrawn has already accounted for every possibility, and that is why he is terrifying. He doesn't need overwhelming strength. He doesn't need anger or hate. He only needs time, knowledge, and the certainty that he will win in the end. It is not a question of if Thrawn will succeed. It is only a matter of when. And that is why no one who faces him should ever feel safe. Because once Thrawn sets his sights on something, he will take it, no matter what stands in his way. There are many great villains in Star Wars, but none like Thrawn. He is unique. He is brilliant. He is terrifying because he does not see himself as evil. He sees himself as necessary. That is what makes him different from the Sith, from warlords, from all the enemies that have come before. He does not crave power for its own sake. He does not seek destruction as an end goal. He is not reckless. Every step he takes is deliberate. Every action he makes has a purpose. That kind of control is what makes him the greatest villain of them all. Vader had power. Palpatine had manipulation. But Thrawn has something more dangerous. He has foresight. He has control. He does not rule through fear, but through precision. And that makes him the ultimate villain. He does not break his enemies through sheer strength. He dismantles them piece by piece. He does not need to fight head-on. He only needs time, observation, and understanding. That is why he is so terrifying. His victories do not come from luck. They come from knowledge. And knowledge is the most powerful weapon of all. A great villain is not just someone who opposes the heroes. A great villain is someone who could have been the hero in another story. Thrawn is that villain. He is the one who makes you question who is truly right. He is not driven by selfish desires. He is not acting out of anger or hatred. He is doing what he believes is best for the galaxy. And that makes him even more dangerous, because he will never stop. He will never waver. He will never see himself as the villain. And that conviction is impossible to break. And that is why he is the best. He is not just a villain. He is a force of nature, a mind that cannot be stopped, a presence that lingers long after the battle is over. His enemies may believe they have won, but in the end, Thrawn is always ahead. He is always thinking, always adapting, always finding the next path to victory. That is why no one will ever truly defeat him. He does not need to be the strongest. He only needs to be the smartest. And no one in Star Wars has ever been smarter than Thrawn. Thrawn is the best Star Wars villain because he is different. He is not fueled by anger or revenge. He is driven by something far greater. He is the villain who wins through intelligence, not through raw power. That is what separates him from the rest. He does not waste time with petty conflicts. He does not let his emotions dictate his actions. He simply plans, observes, and executes with absolute precision. That level of control is what makes him the most terrifying villain in the galaxy. Because once he has set his course, there is nothing that can stop him. He is proof that the scariest enemies are not the loudest. They are the ones who do not need to shout. They are the ones who simply wait for the right moment to strike. Thrawn does not need to intimidate. He does not need to make grand speeches about his power. He only needs to act, and that is enough. His enemies may think they have the upper hand. They may believe they have outplayed him, but they are only seeing what he wants them to see, because every move they make has already been accounted for. In a galaxy filled with warlords and Sith Lords, Thrawn stands apart. He is calm, he is patient, and he is always in control. That is why he is the greatest threat Star Wars has ever seen. His power does not come from fear or cruelty. It comes from understanding. That is what makes him impossible to stop. He does not rely on emotions. He does not need brute force. He only needs his mind. And his mind is something that no hero has ever truly been able to defeat. They may win a battle, but they will never outthink him. And that is why he will never be forgotten. He is not just another villain. He is a symbol of intelligence, of strategy, of true power. He is the enemy who does not need to shout. He is the adversary who does not need to strike first. He is the shadow that waits, the force that calculates, the mind that always wins. That is what makes him the greatest villain in Star Wars. That is why no one else will ever come close. And that is why Thrawn will always be remembered. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to subscribe to Critical Analysis Hub for deep dives into the Star Wars movies, and check out Critical Analysis Hub Plus for case studies on Star Wars shows. Also, if you want to rep the fandom in style, Check out the bio for awesome Star Wars Legos and Funko Pops. May the Force be with you. I'll see you in the next one.